57-54. Again, it wasn't pretty, but they got it done.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Between the Reins, episode number 2, with the voice of the Thoroughbreds, Chris McSwiggan, here with you. And, SPAC season is right around the corner, which is wild to me to think, especially with all the snow on the ground. But have you ever been to a concert and you have the headliner as one of the openers? No, me either. But that's what we have right now as we're starting off with a bang. I thought this was going to start slowly. I thought it was going to be, players, maybe some athletic staff here and there, train. Nope, I've had back-to-back women's head basketball coach and men's now head basketball coach. So Coach Burke is here with me, and I think the word I would use based on what I know and what I found would probably be legacy. And I say that simply because, Coach, you came to Skidmore. This was your first head coaching gig. So you had spent time in the staff on, I believe it was the Naval Academy and with Cornell.
Right.
So, Coach, when you came to Skidmore, did they, seek you out, or did you apply to them? You saw the opening, or and when Skidmore came knocking, what drew you to that opportunity?
First off, I want to say thanks for having me, buddy. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, no worries.
One of the things that goes unappreciated is you around here and what you do for
I don't know.
Well, no, I mean that because what you do for our teams, we generally do appreciate it, and people don't realize the effort and energy it goes. I know it's a passion for you and it's what you love to do, but it doesn't come without a lot of hard work. And I'm glad you got this format here now to kind of express yourself even more and get into it. But
it took me a little bit, but I finally got it. I wanted to do this 5-6 years ago, but it got me into it. So we're here.
Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say.
That's
right?
true.
So no, to get there, but I do appreciate it and everything you do. But it was a crazy story. I had been a Division I assistant for 10 years. And we helped build the Cornell program when I was there. And a couple years after I left, that's when they made their Sweet 16 run,
nice.
Which, as you know, for an Ivy League school is really hard to do. I think it's only been done once or twice, maybe. Ever.
I think didn't Yale have a decent run
Yale
a couple years ago?
Run, yeah. But I don't know that they made it to the Sweet 16. And then I took a job at Navy. It was an opportunity to move up in my career and be the number one guy there. And just it's a different dynamic. And was there for 6 years and decided, as I was getting older, at that point I was, 35, 36. I said I wanted to be a head coach.
I thought you were that now.
Yeah.
No?
I don't really look that way.
Oh, fair enough.
I decided I wanted to be a head coach and do conversations with my wife. We didn't limit it to Division I, Chris. We talked about going to the right fit more than anything else. I did some Division I interviews. As a head coach, and they didn't work out. And Skidmore became available, and oddly enough, a good friend of mine, Izzy Metz, who is now the head coach at Wilkes.
Yep, I've heard.
Used to be the head coach at Hobart back in the day. We had worked together at Cornell for a couple years, and he called me and said, "Look, man, I know Division I is on your radar, but this would be a great chance Division III wise because." This school has not done much from a basketball perspective, and I always thought, having gone there and played, that if the right guy got the job, they could flip this thing and really make it into a national contender. So it was one of those things, Chris. I put in my resume, and me and Gail had a conversation, and I remember she telling me there was probably 100 some candidates for the job.
Okay.
And she narrowed it down, and I got on the plane, and it was funny when I got on the plane at BWI to come up here. I said to my wife, I got no idea what I'm getting into.
So this is coming from Navy?
This is coming from Navy.
I'd say you just drive here from Cornell. Okay, all right.
This is coming from Navy. So I got on a plane and I said to my wife, I have no idea what I'm going up to see, but let's give it a crack. And, it went from that to when I got back on the plane to go home 24 hours later, I called her and I said, look, I'll be upset if I don't get it. Because this is a perfect opportunity for me to build the kind of program I want to build and the culture I want to build, and we can get this done here. So,
coaching was something you knew you wanted to do?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
I
mean, it was when I got out of college. I went to Reins. It's very similar to Skidmore.
That's in Pennsylvania, right?
Yep. And they played at Centennial, which is super competitive. I was a basketball and baseball player there.
Okay.
I tried another job when I first got out, and I'm like, this is not for me.
What I want to do. Okay.
This is not my passion. So I got started coaching high school the first 2 years at my alma mater, Bishop Eustace in Jersey. Went with it, did a couple years as Division II, then I got the Division I gigs, and then we ended up here, and it's been one heck of a run, and it's been a lot of fun. Great players, great assistants that I've been able to hire, and more importantly, and I always say this, it's more about the culture and family that we built here.
Well, I mean, I still remember when you got on the mic. Shortly was it after the tragedy happened with your house, unfortunately. But remember, you got on the mic and told a capacity crowd, there's no place you'd rather be, and no place you'd rather be coaching, and it's one of the best landscapes for Division III to play, probably in the country. And I know it is one of the more competitive conferences in the country. But for those of you who may not know Coach Burke, and who may not know, what he does or what he has done, okay, I got to pull that up. There we go. Okay, the video's limited, so I'll just do that for the fourth quarter free throw. But if Coach Burke were Division I, okay, let's say he were Division I, we would be talking about Springfield, possibly. And the reason for that is just in his first year, he takes a 26-year program into the NCAA tournament for the first time ever in their first season, right? 5 Liberty League championships, 4 regular season titles, 6 NCAA tournament appearances. He's had multiple All-Americans, dozens of all-league players. I mean, this program record's rewritten. Obviously, we know Evanis Rupkis, who was one of my favorite players to call. Still a little salty the call didn't go to ESPN, but I don't know if you know that story, but the one where Vassar, where he scored the game winner. This was 2014 or 15. Okay. Rupkis scored, hit the free throw to put us up, and then they had 3 seconds to go 94 feet, and they just the 2 passes. BJ White went up, didn't get touched, called the foul, no time left on the clock. He hit 3 free throws. I may be able to find that at some point and send it to you, the call, but I submitted it, and they wanted to use it on like the Bad Break Center of SportsCenter, but the school didn't send the video. So I was a little upset about that, but that was probably one of my favorite, despite it being a loss, was probably one of my favorite calls. But Skid, so you come from Ursinus. So you played there. You're a New Jersey guy, which is cool because so was Coach Bostic. Coach, is it Pennsauken? Pennsauken, okay.
Right over the bridge from Philly. You can hit it with a stone.
I saw that. I was doing a little research on that, and unfortunately, I don't want to have to, go through the rest of this interview with any kind of bad taste. You're an Eagles fan.
I'm going to stop you right now. You don't have to worry about it. I am not an Eagles fan.
Okay, there we go. All right, because he was.
In fact, I'm a Philly guy through and through.
Sure.
I have despised the Eagles since I was a kid. And it dates back, I'll skip the story, but I had an older brother who loved the Eagles, and we just needed to argue about something. So we took it out on the front lawn, and believe it or not, you're not going to like this, I'm a Cowboys fan.
How am I not going to like it? Have you seen my watch? Oh,
yeah, there you go.
There we go. See, I knew I liked Coach Burke. There we go. I can imagine in a household growing up so close to Philly, that was pretty heated. I mean, a lot of my fans up here, or my fans, well, maybe my fans, but my friends up here are Giants fans. I get that with them a lot of the time, too. So the one thing that's always kind of been interesting to me about it, especially being a play-by-play guy at this level, was some of the players you did get in. And some of those guys, and I did do some research, and I do have some of the names, but obviously Rupkis was one that we mentioned before. As well as, here we go, you've had Alden Madunajan, obviously Pat Gallagher was big, Connor Merrill, but the two really for me were 1,000-point club members, Rupkis and Tavidas Kupstis, Lithuanian, and for recruiting, I mean, how do you come on the radar of one of those guys overseas, especially at a Division III level?
It's an interesting dynamic, and it's one I really wish we could continue. It's just become harder and harder, in today's landscape with get international kids.
Yeah, I can imagine.
To get the financial aid help they need in the U.S. Ed was, they both were such unique guys, and they were both scholarship kids coming out of high school. Coop was offered multiple D2 scholarships. Ed was offered multiple D1 scholarships. And it really came down to both of them, honestly. Okay, is the school going to help you meet your need? It's not anything illegal. It's like, okay, this is what they have and this is what they can afford. If the school helps them meet the need, then this place becomes in play because it's great education and they both could have success. So they both honestly walked out of their visits here and said, look, if we go Division III, again, this is 5 years apart from each other, right? If they both had the feeling that if they went Division III, this is the place they wanted to go. So and obviously it came down to the fact that this is where they wanted to be, which was great. But yeah, I mean, Coop was awesome. He was awesome.
Still my favorite player.
Yeah,
probably that I've called.
and I'll tell you that Ed was probably, and I don't say this lightly, Ed probably the best player I've ever coached at any level.
Sure.
And that's 10 years of division.
Well, you see that with even in the NBA and on those levels, a lot of these European guys come over and the fundamentals are just so much different.
Yep.
And the way that the intensity and that switch that they flip is just so much different. One of the best big men, personally, in my opinion. I'm not a huge NBA guy. I am a Celtics fan just because of my last name, but it is Jokic and Denver.
Yep.
And
so
it's just to be a big guy at 7 feet.
Yep.
And even Joey Skorek reminds me a lot of Dirk Nowitzki in a way that, I mean, of course, Nowitzki was more of an outside guy than an inside guy, but the way that Skorek pulls up from three, the big blonde out there shooting, and it's just.
I think Joey would like to be more like Dirk, to be honest with you.
Well,
he loves it.
Yeah, he does love to shoot, and sometimes I question it on the broadcast, and I'm sorry, Joe. Sometimes I do question the decision making, and I don't know if you guys have listened or if you listen to any of the broadcasts and things, but I don't always like him shooting out there.
To get some reward, you got to let him go.
His brother also was big for us, Greg.
Yeah.
More of an inside guy, thicker, more physical.
More of an inside guy.
His brother also is in high school. Is he coming?
He is not. He got a Division I offer. He's going to Merrimack.
Oh, Merrimack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so he got a Division I scholarship to Merrimack. I would love to have gotten him. That would have been quite the steal. But he had
all three brothers, same school. That'd be cool. Right. So he's the best of the three. I mean, you don't have to say that yes or no.
It's funny. Like I think. Yeah, I mean, he's the most talented, without a doubt.
Okay.
I think Greg and Joey's situations were so unique. I mean, Greg, people don't realize this. When Greg came to me, he never got off the bench in high school.
Greg didn't. Okay.
No, he was so gangly at 6'11" and hadn't figured it out yet. And I said, well, we're going to take a shot at this kid. And obviously, he's still playing football right now.
Oh, yeah.
He just committed himself to it, committed to his body. And he ended up being a great player for us. I think he's the all-time leading rebounder.
He is, yep. And, now, what school isn't going to play a gangly or not at 6'11"? What high schooler is not going to play at 6'11" unless they're a deer in headlights? I mean, I don't know. Or he's at a really good school, one of the two.
Yeah, well, that was really the scary part for people. And I think, Greg wanted to go. Greg came down to us in Middlebury. Okay. And actually, we won that battle, which was great. And then Joey was a different player. Joey's always been a guy that likes to go outside a little bit. And, he's developed, and it's taken him some time. But I will tell you this, and I told him this in the locker room after last weekend's great wins, that he's playing the best basketball now that he's played in 4 years. He's just super consistent. He's doing things inside and out. He's become the player that we wanted him to become. And listen, it is the end of his senior year, but that's okay. Like there's no better time for him to do it than right now. So he's developed, and the younger brother is a terrific player, great kid. He's going to have a great future.
They do have Ithaca tomorrow night. For those of you who may be listening, is on the road. They finished on the road. They did sweep the weekend, which was nice. Clarkson and St. Lawrence. You can go on YouTube and find those calls as well with yours truly on the mic there. But so Coach, so what kind of player were you? You played both. You played baseball and basketball. Were you a guard?
I was a point guard, but I'll be honest with you, my career from a success standpoint was more in baseball.
Really? Okay.
I had a hell of a baseball career. I had a heck of a baseball career.
You could say,
but I always was infatuated with coaching basketball.
Okay.
And that's what drove me to go in that direction afterwards. But I enjoyed it. I just love the competitive.
I think there'd be more excitement coaching basketball than managing baseball.
Yeah,
I would think, unless you're just a super baseball fan.
No, I love baseball. I love every part about it, but there's just something about coaching basketball that attracts me. And I had a great playing career in high school. We won 2 South Jersey championships. Unfortunately, when we went to the state championship, I had to play against Danny Hurley in St. Anthony's. And me and Danny Danny's
Curly,
a lot of things.
The UConn coach?
What's that?
The UConn coach, Curly?
Yeah. So when I went to the state championship, it was funny. We played them. And it's 5 Division I guys on St. Anthony's, and it's 3 are going to Duke, 1's going to Kentucky, Danny's going to Seton Hall, and we tipped the ball off, and I just looked across. I'm like, man, this looks a lot different than what we were seeing in South Jersey, and that team was one of the best teams out there. And Danny was a heck of a player. We got after each other. But he was a good player. I mean, he's a Division I
Jersey's
player.
known, for a lot of athletics. I mean, if you go north, about maybe an hour and a half north, you got Don Bosco up there, which is always a great program. Yep. I know a couple of kids from Hartwick who had went there.
We're actually looking at a kid from Bosco right now.
Solid program. And I'm excited to see kind of what you have coming in. I do know, only 3 seniors,
Yeah.
nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Young team, kind of as you said, getting better as
Yep.
the year goes along.
Yep.
I think going to be very good next year. But the kid that really stuck out to me, and again, it seems like every couple of years you have that one stud as a freshman that comes in, and this year Gooden obviously has been insane. Of course, unfortunately went down with that injury in the Hobart game, which Charlie Phantom also went down in the Hobart game on the road at Hobart. I don't know if it's something about Hobart, but both guys get hurt there. But had 25 in that game before he went down, and really has put the team on his back a lot as a freshman. But how did he apply here and go to walk on, or did you go get him?
We went and got him.
Okay.
And I'll give a lot of credit to John Milley, my assistant, because John identified him early in the summer, and then we just recruited the heck out of him. Same situation. Had a lot of D2 offers. Oklahoma City kid. And his mom and him made the visit here. They loved it. They were blown away. It worked out financially for them. And yes, he's had a monster year. He's been in that. You're spot on with that. Like we've gotten good players. It's hard to get a lot of them here.
Yeah,
I'm not going to dive into it, but like we've been able to
every 2-3 years you get that one stud.
Yeah, whether now him, it was Coop obviously. Then before him was Ed and Noah.
Noah Marin
before he transferred
went to Brown.
And then Alden before him, and we've had again. Connor was great. There's been other great players around it, but yes, to your point, we've had some marquee guys come in. Jacob's got a chance now. Look, it's early in his career. I'm so sad for him that his season is over. But my goodness, was he terrific during that stretch. And like you said, the sky's the limit for him. And I think the sky's the limit for our team once he comes back.
It's tough on the air, too, when you don't really know what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him, go down, and then he went down the first time and then battled through it, stayed in the game. Yep. And then when he got hit the second time, it just gave way. And obviously, I'm not going to go on and disclose. I know what it is, but I'm not going to go on and disclose an injury for a college kid on here. But it is an upper body injury, so he is done for the year. But he'll be able to.
He'll be fine. We got everything scheduled. He's excited. He's obviously a little down. He's happy that the team's playing so well, and they've rallied around the fact that we lost him, which has been great. But we have a big
winning
plan.
record since he went down, which is good.
Yeah. We have a plan. It's all laid out. He's excited about it. We obviously once he gets the surgery and so forth, we'll be in recovery mode, and he'll be back and ready to go next year.
Which is awesome because I'm excited to see that. Obviously, this is my 11th season. You're in your 16th season. But when it comes to recruiting, we touched on that. But the transfer portal, I know you don't deal with the transfer portal as much at the D3 level, but you do have a transfer. Charlie Weisberg just came in from Loyola. But even though it doesn't affect you really at this level, I asked Coach Bostic this as well. Again, doesn't really affect him, but how do you feel about what's going on in college basketball at the D1 level?
Yeah,
it's almost free agency at this point.
It's really tough right now. They got to get a handle on it, and I think it's bled all the way down to our level. And I don't blame the kids because I don't think they know any better. They just see their friends like, okay, if things aren't going well here, let's go somewhere else.
But at this level, they don't transfer for money. At the D1 level, these guys are making more than they're making with their rookie contracts.
Correct. But I think what has happened now from a transfer standpoint to this level is that people that are at that level that aren't finding the success are coming back down to this level. So you're getting some of that going on. I don't love it. I've had a couple transfers that have been super successful though. Like if you look, obviously Charlie's made a contribution to us, but if you go back to Flip, Eric Sanders, and Royce Parrish, they were both transfers. They were awesome to have for my program, and they were guys I recruited out of high school that ended up going to Division One. Flip went to Division Two. Royce went to Marist, but they ended up coming back and transferring to us and making a huge impact. So I think if handled the right way, it can be done. I don't love where we're at right now. Just we need the governing body to just kind of get control of things, and there's just so much money be thrown around right now, Chris. It's hard for these kids not to jump ship, to be honest with you.
Yeah, especially at that level.
Yep.
But so when you came in, and again, I'm going to keep this a little bit more pointed, because I do know you got to cut out for practice. But so when you came back in 2010, walking into a program that had never been to an NCAA tournament before, I mean, again, a young program, only 26 years in existence at that point, so not like one of those historic blue blood programs like a Syracuse or whatnot. But what did you see here that made you believe that it could become what it is today?
Well, I thought the community around this place could blend itself to having success. I love the environment. I honestly, when I met the players, and Gerard O'Shea, who was my former player and was my assistant for Like I met guys like him and Teron Victoria and John Mantis and Brian Lowry. Those were part of my first group. And I came in here, and those dudes were so hungry to win, and they just hadn't figured it out yet. That was a big part of it. But I also felt, Gail's leadership here was great. I'm sad that she is retiring this year, which is tough. But
I did not know that.
yeah,
But okay.
I broke some news for you. There you
Well,
go.
yeah.
But yeah, she's made it public. She's retiring in August. So I'll be very sad to see her go. But her leadership, along with inheriting some guys that really wanted to win and really were committed to it. And then you walk around the campus and you walk around the town and you're like, you know what, this is a good basketball
Town,
area.
yeah.
People
Town's
love
beautiful.
it. Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, everything about this place is like, man, if you could just get it going, ingrain yourself and get the people involved, this place could be super successful. So that was kind of the key to me. It was a beautiful campus. It had fit my model in that, I'm at Cornell, I'm at
Yep.
Navy. Academics are huge at both places, even though they're Division One. This place is a great academic school. It just the pieces lined up, man, and I was looking for a place with a community like this to start my family. My family was very young at the time, and here we are. I got a senior graduating from here now.
Time flies.
Time flies, but it just everything fit, and it was great. It's been great. It's been a heck of a run, and I've appreciated it.
It was similar kind of with me to choosing a school. I went to Hartwick and Oneonta, and we've played them a couple of times, and it's been tough for me watching Hartwick play Skidmore and being on the broadcast. In the back of your mind, you're, don't know who to root for, but obviously, I keep it Skidmore centric on the broadcast, but it was sort of similar to me with choosing a school.
Yeah.
And it was close enough to home, far enough away to feel like I'm at school, but close enough to home in case I needed to.
Yep.
But also something about the town of Oneonta was magical.
Yep.
Maybe because when I went there, they had the most bars per capita, and it was as a freshman, I was like, this is cool.
Good sell.
At that time it was great. But obviously, my buddy's still out there. Actually, he's the AD at the football team. He's my college roommate.
Okay.
Not the AD, excuse me, the D coordinator. So he still lives out there, so I go visit every once in a while. But
I hope schools like that, schools like that are
smaller, yeah. They're smaller than
hard,
here.
and I hope they're doing okay because I know a lot of schools are struggling. Those small private schools.
Yeah, they had some battles with the school president about football and cutting football, possibly.
Yeah, I believe it.
Which would be, which was what happened to him after we graduated Hartwick. He went out to Becker in Leicester, and I went out there with him because I wanted to do football broadcasting, and I kind of created a monster at Hartwick a little bit because I played basketball, but I lived with football players, and I was doing broadcast journalism major, and I was like, this is great. So I called all the games, and I did all their games for them, and now I called Hartwick back up, all new staff, none of them know me, but I was like, hey, class of 2010, blah blah blah, and they're like, yeah, we'd love to have you come out and do the games and maybe mentor some of the things, but we can't pay you. He's like, oh, okay. And I said, he said, we have students doing it. It's a student-run thing. Yeah. Okay, now I was the first student to do that. So I kind of created a monster with that. It kind of came back, here it is 15 years later, and shot me in the foot. But, so I'm hoping that was the one thing about Skidmore that I was like, man, I wish I had football. Yeah. Just so I could do the full gambit. Of course, I want to do lacrosse. I want to do baseball. I want to do some of them. I've been basketball-centric for a while, but I want to do those. We got about 10, 15 minutes or so left here with Coach Burke because, like I said, he's got practice coming for Ithaca tomorrow. You got a sheet there. Is there something you wanted to
No,
read off?
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you had an announcement or something for us.
No.
So for
I broke enough news today.
Well, the Gale thing is that shocked me. You guys need a new AD?
We do. They're gonna interview.
So I'm gonna. Anybody wants to vote for myself or Coach Burke, then we'll both willingly accept nominations. But no, actually, I have been trying to get on the athletic staff for a while. Even if this what I do were to become a I guess part of the athletic program, I think that would be cool. And that's part of the reason I wanted to do this show as well. Everyone's seen you coach. They've seen you on the sidelines. They hear my calls, and that's video, so they see you on the sidelines. But they don't really know who necessarily you are as a man, as a coach outside of what you are on the floor. And when you come here, what would you think that the players, if because I'm going to ask them, hopefully I'm going to have a good portion of them on.
Yeah, sure.
What would they say about you as a coach?
I think my goal for them is to get the most out of them as players, and I think I'm very player friendly. I think they'll tell you I'm hard on them.
Okay,
and
I can see that.
I am.
I can see that.
But I also when we get outside the lines, I'm there for them and support them every which way, whether it be in their personal life or academic world or family life. That's my whole thing. I want to push their buttons. I think that's look. I'm not claiming to be John Wooden. We've won a lot, and I'm not going to claim to be John Wooden X's and O's. But I do take pride in being able to push the right buttons when we need them to be pushed.
The only coach I've ever seen that had players over to his house for like a barbecue after the season.
Yeah,
like most coaches are like, between this hour and a couple hours on Saturday, and then leave me alone.
Yeah,
you know?
a big part of it is they're a part of my family. I always say that. In this case, we have 14 players. I have 4 of my own kids, but I say I have 18 children because I treat them that way. And I don't want anybody in my locker room that I wouldn't trust watching my own kids. So I just try to mold them as men, Chris. To be honest with you, I want to challenge them, give them hard things they have to deal with, help them get through it, and make them the best players they can be. And again, we've had guys play professionally. Which has been great.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple guys play professional. And I want these guys to walk down the aisle, get their degree, and have options. Like if they walk down, they've had a successful career, they've won a number of games, hopefully championships, and they have options maybe to go play overseas or go to New York City or go to Boston and get that big-time job. And I feel like I've done my job. And that's what I would want them to think of me. Like, all right, he's done everything he could for me, and it always hasn't been easy. But we got to the end of the line here, and I look back and I just, usually they're very grateful, and they go to all their weddings, and it's great. So
that's the beautiful part of this level too. You stay for the 4 years, you get your degree, then you go on. It's not a lot of the times in D1, like my family's all Syracuse fans. I'm the only member of my family that didn't go to Syracuse, and that's just because I wanted to do athletics, and I wasn't quite qualified in that regard. But you see a lot of guys they're on campus for 6 months. And then they're in New York for the draft, and they don't necessarily. I always thought, oh well, you didn't really go to that school. You didn't really. You weren't there. You were there to play, but did you really go to classes? Did you really have this level? Is kind of academic and athletic, and it's academic focused. I mean, this is one of the better academic conferences as well. I mean, you're looking at Clarkson's huge, RPI, Union, Rochester. They're all great. Skidmore being one of them. So I've always liked that about this level as well. But what's still after 16 years though? It happened so fast. You came in. It was your first season, and you're off to the races. Had a couple of bad years the last couple of years, but what still motivates you after 16 years?
I think the joy on these guys' faces and competing and winning. And, I think the beauty of what we do around here is that, and this goes back, I think in 2022, we were lost in the final to Vassar in the championship.
Yes.
That was after, I think we had beaten RPI and then lost in the final and ran out of gas against that. And entering the 2023 season, I wasn't thrilled with what we had coming back and where we were at. So I felt, and I had a great conversation with Gal about it too. I felt like we needed to shuffle the deck a little bit. And I needed to kind of reload and take a couple of years here. I knew the last 2 years were going to be difficult. Knew it.
Okay.
Now, did it make it easy to get through?
I mean, did you know 6 and 19 and 4 and 20 difficult?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Because I knew how good the league was, and I knew we were in a COVID year, and I knew everybody had grad transfers, and we don't even have a graduate.
You had a
school.
young team.
We had a young team.
You have 3 seniors now. So the last couple of years, you had you didn't have a senior.
Last year we graduated 1.
Yeah.
So
we've young team.
Yeah, and I knew that, and I knew there's going to be schools that had grad programs that had 24, 25-year-olds on the court, and that was the case. And we got it handed to us, but I kept telling the guys they got to believe in what they're going through and how it's going to benefit them. And I think now they're starting to see the benefits of that. Look, even the best, sometimes you got to reload, man, and you got to take a step back. And if you feel like things are trending, I'll be honest with you, Chris, I could have kept the ship on. I could have kept things moving in the right direction, but it wouldn't have been greatness. It wouldn't have been greatness. We needed to step away and go back a little bit and then go forward to be great. And I think that's what we did. And I think we're on our way back.
Well, you punched your ticket. I mean, for the most part, you're in this Liberty League tournament. You may not get a home game.
We're still holding out hope.
The women might, you guys might not, but you are in the dance, and that's all that matters. I still remember the year you guys were left for dead. You were the last place seed, and then you came out and you beat Hobart on Hobart's home floor to win the whole thing, which was, so there's always hope. What we're going to do here, again, Coach has Ithaca tomorrow, and you guys can watch that. Unfortunately, they have, I won't be out there, but they do have a very good
They do a
staff
good
out
job
there.
out
They
there
do
with the
broadcasting, so you'll be
broadcasting.
able to listen and watch the games. I think they're student broadcasters as
They
well.
are. They are.
So those guys are pretty good. I met them when they came out here. They travel on the road too, and they have a little sideline reporter that does.
They do.
That's yeah.
Sideline reporters. They do pre-game interviews. They very
It's
serious
wild.
about what they do. I think it's a big part of the majors out there.
It is, yeah.
And those kids take a lot of pride in that. Which I
So,
love.
so they finished with Ithaca and RIT.
Yep.
RIT obviously having a bit of a down year.
Talented though, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
that.
I'm not saying it's
talented.
a layup,
No.
pun intended, but it's always a tough game. But yeah, a little bit of a down year for them. Should finish out strong.
Yep.
But again, we will see, and that's why they play the game. What we're gonna do is I have a little thing here. I know you guys play 2 halves, not 4 quarters, but a little thing called fourth
I wish
quarter
we
free
played 4
throws.
quarters.
Yeah, you like that format?
I think it's the right thing to do.
Okay.
Honestly, I do. I think it's the right thing to do. I think from a foul perspective, timeout. I think everything. I think the women had it right.
Well, what do you think about the 6 media timeouts we have throughout the game?
Good.
I mean, that's
I can't for the life of me. And you know what? We went to it obviously as a league this year, and the reason we went to it is because we have to do it in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So from a coaching perspective, it matters.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal. Like if
Gives
you
you some
don't do
extra
it all
time to
year
talk
long,
over stuff
right?
and-
If you don't do it all year long, and then all of a sudden you got to do it, that's a big transition.
weird,
So at least we know our rotations are. When we need to call timeouts, we use it. But like at the end of the day, it's different. So.
It's tough for me because on a YouTube broadcast, I don't have like when I was at Hertwick doing it and different things, they would cut the commercial, or they'd play a promo, or they'd play whatever.
Yeah.
I was kind of sitting there with dead air during that time, and if I don't have anything that I wanted to say, but so we'll throw in what's called fourth quarter free throws, which because as you know, being a basketball guy, free throws are so important. They can win a game or they can lose a game for you. Again, being a Syracuse fan, I would know that they're second to last in D1 in free throws, which is baffling to me. I actually won a Knights of Columbus free throw competition when I was in high school, so that was always a big thing for me.
I remember that back in the day.
But they used to do that. There was like 100 kids just chucking the ball at the
It's great.
So, in your opinion, and having done this, so long now, 3, 2, there it is. Sometimes the video delays. So for fourth quarter free throws, and having been 16 seasons, when I asked Coach Bostic this, he's been here for a couple years, so it's not quite the same for him. For you, hardest Liberty League road gym to win in? And again, these are just so you know, these questions are top of the head, no thinking, just first thing that comes to mind.
Ithaca.
Oh, so tomorrow night. Yeah. Okay, Ben Light. Yep.
We have struggled there. They're a tough at home. It's a good environment. I think I don't know the last time I won there, but I will say I remember the last time I won there. Rutgers got 42.
So it was Rutgers era last time you won out there. Okay.
I want to say it was like 2019. The last time we won.
I should know that. I'm usually a stats guy, but okay. Ithaca. Now he said, for the record, he said Union.
Yeah.
Offense or defense?
Defensive guy.
Defensive guy. Which you can tell. You guys' defense is suffocating this year. Favorite basketball movie?
You know what? There's so many, but if Hoosiers is on, I can't not watch it.
Okay.
I can't not watch it.
Hoosiers is fantastic. You Wings guy?
Somewhat.
Because I was gonna say Jersey pizza or New York Wings.
Gosh, yeah. I thought you were talking Wings. 100% Wings guy.
100%. Like no, I meant not the movie Wings.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so would you prefer like New York, New Jersey area pizza or upstate New York wings?
I will go New York, New Jersey. I'll go Philly pizza.
Philly pizza over the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Philly pizza and upstate New York wings.
Philly. Okay. I haven't had Philly pizza. I've had cheesesteak. Have not had Philly pizza.
I had so much of it. I miss it.
I hear you. Well, we had what's called cold cheese pizza in Oneonta, which you guys looked that up. It looks gross, but it's amazing. Do you have a pregame ritual? Do you have anything you have to do every game? Muscle motion?
No, you know what? Not really. I have a ritual of when I go home, I get dressed, I come in back to the office probably about an hour and 45. I grab a cup of coffee, kind of take my time, get my bearings straight, and I do listen to music in my office, almost like I'm warming up as a player.
Same songs every time, or you switch it up?
Switch it up. I do have one song that I'll finish with, and
Okay.
that changes on a yearly basis. I will not
Okay.
relinquish that information.
No, that's fine.
But
No need to
every
know.
year, I think last year was a Kanye song. This year is a different one. Like
Okay.
every year, there's one different song that I like to listen right
Okay.
before I leave to go downstairs. and meet the
I
guys.
can respect that. When I was DJing, I was running at Peddlers down in Clifton Park, as well as I was running the karaoke segment. And my last song of the night, which was like became my staple, was Eddie Bunny's "Take Me Home
Oh,
Tonight."
love
So
that. Great
so
song.
I remember
Great
that
song.
was, lights would come on, they'd play
Yeah.
that song.
Great
That's
song.
how you knew it was over.
Great song.
Okay, so you've already answered this one. I'll just say coffee or energy drink, but obviously coffee guy.
Coffee.
Best advice you've ever received? Not necessarily basketball. It can be. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. For me, and I think this is life. Like, be in the job that you're in.
Okay.
And I say that in a way that we all have aspirations to do bigger and better things in life. And in coaching basketball, you're always like, okay, what job? You see the coaches like, all right, what's the next step for them?
Sure.
Where's he going to go? Mid-major, high major? You have to love and be in the job that you're in. And if you do that, you're either going to be super happy staying there the rest of your life, or things are going to play out for you in a successful way. So someone just once told me that, like, don't worry about the peripheral. Don't worry about, like, if they're calling you, they want you to go here. Be in the moment, be in the job you're in, give everything. Because the minute you let your guard down in those regards, then you start, you're not as effective in your workplace. So you got to love where you're at and be where your feet are, as they say, Chris.
So I got two more for you, because
Yep.
I know you got to cut out here.
Yep.
Your kids play sports?
They do.
This is a part A, part B. So they do play sports. Okay.
Yes.
So as a dad, then,
Oh.
and I'm recently a dad. I have a 3-year-old, so
Yep.
she's going to get into sports eventually. But
Yep.
as a dad, are you the intense sports parent or the calm one?
You know what? I'm intense with my own kid.
Okay.
I try not to be disruptive during the game, or while they're competing, but I'm challenged. I don't miss anything. Like this is the beauty of being a head coach and being a little bit flexible
Details,
at this
yeah.
level. Like I can get to most things. Like my youngest daughter is really into volleyball right now, and she's
Okay.
doing really well. I'll watch. I'll engage. She knows I'm watching. She knows every time the match is over when she's going to get in the
look
car.
up at the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is going to get in the car, and her and I are going to have a conversation
Break it
about
down.
how hard she competed and what I thought of it. So I'm intense in that I'm locked in on what they're doing. I want them to be the same way with my daughters were with soccer. I'm intense in that facet, but I'm not the mouthy guy on the sideline for your parent wise. I
hate that personally. But if you weren't coaching basketball, what would you be doing?
Woo! There's a lot of things. I always wanted to be Justin Timberlake, Chris.
Okay. Okay, you're a
I
singer.
said, you know what? I said singer, golfer, comedian. Like he does a little bit of everything. I don't envy many people, but I thought he's a guy that kind of has the whole package. I don't know. I've never really had any other way of living, to be honest with you. I tried the real world, and I need something competitive. So I guess, yeah, I maybe playing a sport. Like I'd love to be a professional
Fair enough. Okay.
player, but like
Okay.
that's hard to do.
It is very hard to do.
Yeah. So I that's a good question. Again, I don't have a specific answer because I don't really want to do anything else.
Fair enough. Yeah, you said from the beginning, coaching is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I've had many philosophical debates about this with people in bars and different areas and avenues. Skydive or down in a shark cage?
How about neither?
Oh, okay. If you had to pick one though?
Shark cage.
Yeah, me too. Okay, yeah, because I'm absolutely not jumping out of a plane. Because if that doesn't pull, you're screwed. At least you got metal around you, with the shark cage.
I'm a big Jaws guy, so that might intrigue me a little bit. I'm not. I don't know what happened to me, but my height, the fear of heights, all of a sudden, as I've gotten older, has gotten worse.
Coming out of a plane is even worse.
That doesn't interest me even in the slightest bit.
Yeah, all my friends have done it. I'm like, yeah, all good. I'll meet you. I'll meet you with drinks at the end. And the last one, because I know he's got to cut out. We got 2 minutes left to go here, so I'm going to cut to the music here in just a second, and then I'll have a couple things to say at the end once Coach takes off. But when it's all said and done, don't know when that's going to be. Hopefully not soon, but when it's all said and done, championship rings or relationships?
Relationships.
Relationships.
Yeah,
Okay.
I and here's why I say that is because we've had a number of championships, and I'm trying to get more, and I will say that one helps the other.
Mm.
Like the relationships get better when you have success. So we're always striving to win championships. There's no question about it. But to get back to my initial point, yeah, I'm more excited about when these guys walk down the aisle and they have a relationship with me, that they appreciate what I pushed them to do, what I pushed them to be, and that they're looking forward to the next phase of their life and they're set up for it. That's really what I'm about. It's what I've been about. And nothing excites me better than alumni day around here. And when all those guys come back and I get to see them and see how successful they are. So as much as I love to continue to win championships, and we will, I have no question about that. It's more about each year. If this group doesn't win a championship, I want to make sure the relationship needs to be intact no matter what. That's non-negotiable.
The true players coach, successful both on and off the court, building relationships, winning championships, and molding young men. This is Coach Joe Burke. Again, got to cut it a little short today just because he does have practice. I wasn't expecting him to come in during the season. I thought it would be kind of afterwards, but hey, he reached out to me, said, hey, great, I'll come on. So I had to do it. I just mentioned it. So bear with me for a little bit. I will have a little bit of time left after this, but yeah, Coach going to take off and hopefully go get his guys ready to go out in Ithaca tomorrow.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday. You never know. We need to win both, and St. Lawrence lose both, and we'll be back home.
There we go.
There you go.
Once again, Coach Joe Burke, thank you.
Thank you.
You could be paid 4-5 half.
There you go.
And they both play.
There we go. Jeez. Yeah, that was always my staple. When I left the bars, I'm like, come on. And I got that from Artwork, where it was a college bar. It was run by former players and everything. End of the night, 2:00, like, come on, this was the song. And it was just, it had a different meaning in college. But, I got you.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, good stuff. I appreciate it.
No worries.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully we steal this thing. Over the summer, I'm going to have more of an actual, I can only get an hour inside of the defense type of show. But over the summer, when Duke's on, it's full 4 show, 2 hours. So I'm calling in, listening to go. Yeah, thanks for coming on. And I'll have that uploaded to YouTube tonight. And you can go. Cool, thanks, man.